Well, I know the support that we have had from Republican women in Texas has been extraordinary. My campaign for Senate, the Republican women gathered here were the heart and soul of that campaign. And we had unbelievable grassroots support from Republican women all over the state who knocked on doors, who sent emails, who got online, who made phone calls. And, I am so grateful for all of the many dear friends who are here, of women who just have a passion for freedom, have a passion for our great state, a passion for our nation. And I think we're in a very strong position in my home state of Texas. I'm gratified by that, but we're taking nothing for granted. And so we are campaigning hard to earn the vote of every Texan. I hope and intend to win the Texas primary, but we're going to work every day to earn the support of grassroots activists, of men and women and leaders throughout the state. I think debates ought to focus on substance and on comparing the records and the policy ideas and visions of the different candidates. And you can see a difference when you have moderators that are frankly coming from a very different political perspective. Right now, Democratic primary debates are moderated almost exclusively by liberal Democratic reporters. And Republican primary debates are moderated almost exclusively by liberal Democratic reporters. It doesn't make any sense. It seems to me a starting point should be that anyone who is moderating a Republican Party primary ought to be somebody who is voting in a Republican Party primary. And there's a reason for this. Listen, conservative primary voters all across this country are trying to make a decision. Who do they want to support in the primary? And so they're balancing the different candidates. They're trying to ascertain, all right, who's the strongest conservative? Who has a proven record? Who's walked the walk? What are the differences? Are there differences on issues? Are there differences on immigration and amnesty? Are there differences on taxes? Are there differences on marriage and life and religious liberty? Those are all questions that primary voters are wondering. But from the perspective of reporters that are coming from the left, those are not questions that are dwelling on them. I've suggested, can you imagine a Republican primary debate that was moderated by Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin? Now listen, those would not be softball questions. Those guys are not pussycats. But they are conservatives who would be interested in getting to the bottom of who's really a conservative, what have they done, what is their record. I think that would be far more beneficial for the voters. It is clear that voters are starting to examine the candidates and starting to make decisions. And one of the things that I am most encouraged about is that conservatives are really uniting behind our campaign. We're seeing conservatives consolidate behind our campaign. I think it is likely that this race, as many other races have in the past, will end up at the end of the day being a battle between a strong conservative and a moderate establishment candidate. And I think if it gets to a head-to-head battle like that, I believe the conservative will win, particularly this time. In past cycles, conservatives have never had any money. We've been divided, we've bickered like cats and dogs. This cycle, conservatives are uniting. The fundraising our campaign is seeing, we're shattering records on fundraising. We finished this last quarter with more cash on hand than any candidate in the race. That's astonishing.